Hi everybody, it's Relic Hunter, and I'm back, and I'm making an addition to try and identify as many of these insulators as I can for you. I'm in some of the larger ones. They have about a 6-inch, 7-inch base. The one we're looking at, that's an Ohio brass marked ST, so it has a radio treatment. That one doesn't quite look like it. But the guy next to it, you can tell there's a little bit of a radio treatment. Another Ohio brass. That's a Thomas. Another Thomas. This is a Pinco, as well as the guy next door to it. That's a Pinco, and you can see it's a totally different shape. And that one has a radio treatment. More Thomases. And in the back, let's see what he says. It's dated 1964. And I'm not sure who that is. It's a triangle inside a circle. It looks like I am, so we'll have to figure that one out. So that's pretty much it on these guys. There's a lot of different styles. I can see this is a Thomas. So primarily Thomases, a couple Ohio brass, a couple of Pincos, and there's more over here in the shed as well. So all in all, there's probably 50 to 60 of that size. Then we got the clear Kimbo 830s. We know who they are. We got the multicolored Knox. A lot of people are interested in those. They're pretty rare. That looks like a real good one there. This brown husky guy is also a Knox, and there was only 3 of them in the whole dig. The colored glass, that's a Brookfield. That's marked a 3820, but really doesn't have a manufacturer's stamp. These little guys are Pincos. This is a Pinco N, and there was also some marked Pinco U. There's a lot of these in a similar shape made by Cook, and a couple also by Westinghouse, and they're all in a pale yellow. Here's a Whitall Tatum in clear, a couple of those in the collection. There's a lot of brown rounded ones like these guys. And a lot of them are marked Pinco, and some of them are not marked. This one doesn't appear to have a mark. But there's a lot of them back in there. I think some of them are also marked Cook. Way in the back, are some of the brown lap. Here they are. and they're a 5840. They have a third insulator ring on them. And that's pretty much for what's in here. There are some spool type insulators, maybe a dozen, that were really deep in the dirt at the very entrance to the pit, and they're not marked. Now we'll go to another area. Okay, in this area we have a lot of the yellows. That's a porcelain product, PP. They're pretty bright yellow. The Thomas come in a lot of different shades. That's a peach. Next to it is a mix between peach and yellow. And then that is an unmarked, appears to be Thomas, in a lighter yellow. There's also some Lock 8881s in here. And there's a whole bunch of them back in that section. Maybe 20 or so. The yellows are primarily Thomas. That's kind of a rare one. That's a Pinko V in a medium yellow. There's another Lock 881. Another Lock. There's another Pinko V. And another one right behind it. And I'm sure there are some in there unmarked that I don't know who they are, but primarily Thomas. And about any shade of yellow you want, it's here. Again, this whole area here is over 2,000 insulators. Now we'll take a look at the darker Thomases. Okay, we're looking at a lot of Thomases in different shades of butterscotch to brown. Those are Lock 8881s and beautiful glazes. Some of the Thomases go to a green, gray, kind of black mix. And there's one that has a really odd glaze. This area is probably 75% butterscotch colors. There are some that go to like a cherry red. In this guy. It looks, I can't see, it looks like he's marked Pinko. Here's a really outstanding piece. Just crazy colors. I also saw one marked Ohio Brass here. Right here. And once again, just wild colors, black, green, gray. The locks are just some outstanding colors. Some orange brown glazes. And then back in that back section again, those are the Lock 8881s in a mustard color. But there you can see the mix here. There's a green one that has a brilliant glaze. It's a Thomas I can see. It's almost like a mirrored glaze. Another one of the locks. There's a darker lock glaze. There's a real odd one. Almost orange with circles. Another one there under the leaf. So it looks like these are primarily Thomas. Just a few Ohio brass. That's a Thomas that looks exactly like the Ohio brass. And this guy's a real oddball. It looks like it's marked Ohio brass as well. There's only 4 or 5 in that configuration that I found in the whole batch. So we got mostly Thomas, some Ohio brass, a couple Pincos thrown in there. And if I remember correctly, there was a couple marked Cook somewhere in this batch. And over there you got the PPs. Mostly Thomas and some locks. I know there are some Ohio brass yellows with red mixed in. I would imagine there are some without red in that group. But I'd really have to go through them to find it. And there's one of the Ohio brass with the 4 white marks on the top. A lot of different beautiful colors. We'll move on to the next area.